I can't even finish the video before the house sells. Hey, good morning, it's Jason, and here's our first listing of the new era in post-pandemic real estate. Hi, the video you're about to watch is not the same video I started making just 4 days ago. 4 days ago it was May 7th and I was able to start listing houses again. So I thought, hey, it would be cool to make a video listing a house using the new Matterport 3D virtual scanning camera that I've got to show you how that virtual technology is going to help sell homes faster. The only problem is, today's May 11th, the house is already sold. I can't even finish the video before the house sells. However, there's some good stuff in here about how that camera works, so I'm gonna make a pivot and kind of change the direction. And we're gonna talk just about that technology and how that camera works. So without further delay, let's get to it. We are getting set up with our Matterport camera, which we talked about in a video a couple weeks ago, and it is right here. So we're gonna get that set up and running, do some scans, and get this house ready to list. Catch you soon. All right, this room is good. Let's move on to the next one. And boom, here we are now in my editing room. So over here on my left, which I believe is probably on your right, is my iPad Pro. This is what I use to control the Matterport camera. There's a capture app on there which tells the camera when to record, and then it will show the recordings live as they're happening in a very rough form here, so we can get an idea of what we've scanned and see if there's any areas that we've missed or anything that we have to go ahead and rescan again. This monitor over here has DaVinci Resolve running right now, which is what I'm currently using to edit the videos that I'm putting out. This is actually a timeline for some footage that I shot earlier for this video, which is kind of cool because you're actually seeing me work on what you're seeing, which is kind of a paradox. On this monitor over here is the Matterport file. Now we've already got all the scan data and we've brought it home, uploaded it, and we want to take you inside of that right now. Okay, so this is what it looks like when the fully rendered model is sent to somebody with a link. It will bring up the rendered version of the house and put it at the starting point, which we choose, and whoever's looking at it can click around, go through the house, and kind of take a look and see what the house has to offer. Along with that, we can do some special things like put in little matter tags here, which will tell you, like this one happens to tell you about the fireplace, but it'll tell you about the house. We are going to back up real quick though and go back to what's called the dollhouse view. So this is the entire structure, in this case an internal model of the structure, showing all of the rooms and floors and how they relate to each other. And you can manipulate this in space any way that you want. You also can convert this to a floor plan view. Now this is a composite floor plan view, so this is going to show you from the top down every part of the house, the way it overlaps on top of each other. You can limit that by floors. So if we start in the basement, we can take a look at just the basement floor plan layout. Moving on to the main floor, you can see how the main floor overlaps what we've seen in the basement. We can now move up to the upper floor, and this will show you how that sits in relation to the rest of the floors in the house. Or we can again look at them all on top of each other and see how they lay out together. Going back to the dollhouse view, you can also, as you're manipulating this in space, you can pick any point in the model and go directly into that room. So in this case, we are now in the master bedroom. And when you're in rooms like this, if you're looking at a part of the floor or a piece of furniture or a window or something else which might have a dimension, you can go over here on the bottom to this measurement mode tool. And when this comes up, you click on this little button, it brings up this magnifier, and it will show you if you want to measure, for example, from this wall here. You can click on that point, and then you can drag it over to this wall, and it'll show you that that space is about 14 feet. You can turn the room, you can click on that again, get another point, come over here and go from here to here, and that will show you that you're very close to 17'9". This is dimensionally accurate according to Matterport within about 1%. So this is pretty accurate. If you want to come over here and take a look at this window, for example, if you're, say, measuring for curtains, you can pull from here to here, and you can see that that window is about 4'8" from side to side, or from the opening to the opening, if you're looking to get blinds or window coverings or something like that. So this can be really useful, and this measurement tool is available both in the actual rendered model, or you can come into the floor plan view and go over here and say, I want to measure the rooms this way, and just click from there to there, and again from here to here, and then that will give you a pretty good idea how big that particular room is. So it's a very useful tool, and again, you can go anywhere you want to go. You can look at all the floors together. You can look at individual floors in this dollhouse view as well as the floor plan view, and then you can go back to exploring the 3D space, and if you want to walk through the entire house, you are free to do that. Going from floor to floor, from space to space, you'll notice how things change as you move. It continually updates your perspective to give you about the most accurate feel for a house you are ever going to get without actually visiting the house in person. And something else I like about this too is it is HDR photography, so, or HDR rendering, I guess I should say. So it will give you windows that are not blown out and balanced well with the room and stuff like that. So it can be used, and I do use it to pull two-dimensional photographs out of as well. That way there's some consistency between what we're looking at, both in the photographs and in the rendered version. That's a quick tour of how Matterport works once it's done. And again, this is something we are using to give people the ability to look through your home without actually having to look through your home, as it were. It's a great tool, great technology, lots of possibilities. We're excited about it. Thanks for stopping by and checking it out. And there you go. That's a look inside of how Matterport works. You can go inside, you can measure. If you need to know how big your windows are, you can go in here and you can measure that. If you need to know how many windows you have, you can go in there and see that. If you want to decide if you're going to upgrade your flooring before you move in, you can go in there and measure the rooms and get a fairly accurate estimate of what that is going to cost. We are super excited about this technology. There are so many ways that this can benefit sellers and buyers in the way that real estate has changed moving forward from the post-pandemic era. So we hope you enjoyed this part of the listing process. We're going to cover other parts of the listing process in upcoming videos. So click on the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get updates, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the near future. Until then, you have a great day.